Angie here from Pear Collections. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Pear Collection Style Tips and Tricks. Today I want to talk to you about full-figured pears. Yes, that's right. We haven't forgotten about you full-figured pears. I actually grew up knowing my favorite full-figured pear, and that is my mom. So I have a very soft spot for full-figured pears. So I'm very excited to be sharing this episode with you and just chatting a bit more about the do's and don'ts of dressing as a full-figured pear. Now, first off, we do pride ourselves at Pear Collections at providing styles that all pear-shaped women can wear. That is why we offer size 4 to size 24, and we are looking at going up in size as we grow, simply because we want to make sure that we are really having a successful option for all pear-shaped women. As I've said in the past, I'm a petite pear, but my mom, who I love very much, has been a full-figured pear for basically as long as I can remember, and I think I got a lot of not hatred, but a lot of negativity towards being a pear-shaped woman from my mom because she was a full-figured pear and found shopping for clothing so difficult years and years ago. So I'm really excited to do this episode and hope she's listening to learn a couple things, and just really want to say that even though I'm a petite pear, I completely understand the difficulty that full-figured pears have when they're trying to find clothes. Just being a full-figured beautiful woman can be difficult to find clothes that fit. But then when you pile on the fact that you are paired, it can be extremely difficult to find things that actually fit your body in your different proportions that, to be honest, do make you just gorgeous, but it can be difficult to find clothing for it because clothing isn't made for us. So I do find that it can be typically harder for fuller paired women to find clothes simply because they're fuller, opposed to petite women, where as I'm a petite woman, I find issues finding clothes because people don't believe me that I am a pear, and so there's just no option. So both ends of the spectrum always have difficulties. So today I kind of want to discuss the other end, the full paired women. And first off, I thought it'd be great to really explain what a full-figured pear woman is. Basically, it's a plus-size pear-shaped woman. This means that you have narrow shoulders, narrow waist, bigger hips, bigger thighs, bigger buttocks, bigger calves. Typically, and not always, but typically you have cankles when you're further figured pear-shaped woman as well. And so it's the exact same thing as a petite pear, but you're just full-figured. Yeah, figure. And to be honest, a lot of full-figured women, a lot of pears are actually classified full-figured women at the size of size 14 simply because of our body shape. Typically, when you're size 14 pear-shaped woman, your pant size are more like a 16 to 18. So usually in fashion, you're actually considered full-figured at size 14, which, I'm sorry, ladies, you are not full-figured at size 14. You are normal size at size 14. But in the world of fashion, you're considered full-figured because you have to fit the biggest part of your body. Hence why picking clothing is so difficult. So it can just be tricky. It's trying to find something where you're smaller up top, bigger on the bottom. You can be something as small as a size 10 and then go up to a size 18 on the bottom, which is just nearly impossible to fit. On the plus size, there's a plus side of this, ladies. In recent studies that I've actually been researching it actually shows that internationally, full-figured women who are pear-shaped are actually the most common body shape among women. Super interesting how fashion hasn't caught up to this, but nowadays, the most typical body shape is a full-figured woman who is pear-shaped. Not just full-figured, but a pear-shaped full-figured woman. And that has a lot to do with our lifestyle choices, our dietary choices, and just our actual genetics as well. So while you're cursing your hips and your thighs, just remember there's actually a lot of people who pay a lot of money to turn themselves into full-figured pears to have the ideal look of beautiful. So just remind yourself that every time you're cursing yourself because you can't get into your jeans or anything like that. It's always really good to know. But now that I've explained a bit more what a full-figured woman is, I thought I'd go through my top suggestions for dressing your body to make things a bit easier when you go out and are trying on clothes. First off, let's start with tops, because tops are probably the easiest thing you'll ever need to buy. Usually the only issue you have is that it's either not long enough or you don't fill out the chest area, which I don't know about you, happens to me all the time. But when shopping for a top, you want to gravitate to printed or detailed tops that help draw the eyes up to your face, and off the shoulder ones. So ones that show the shoulders, ones that, have a bit of emphasis up here. Again, just to draw people up to your beautiful neckline. Pear-shaped women always have beautiful necklines no matter what the size you are. So show those beautiful necks off, ladies. Also, when you're looking at actual shapes of tunics and tops, A-line tops are usually the best for you, simply because it allows you extra movement in your hips, and then it actually fits up top for you in your petite shoulder and rib cage area. Another thing that works really, really well is really try and do the fit and flare look. So really do the A-line and just overall fit and flare. So I do that with all of our collections. So even our shirts, I have it so that it's quite fit and fitted in our waist area, but then it flares out in the hips so that things don't stick on your hips, which I don't know about you, I've had a lot of issues in the past for myself. And I know a lot of fuller figured pairs always have this issue as well. Another thing that is always really fantastic, and this is the #1 suggestion for full figured pairs, is get a jacket. A well-fitted jacket, preferably one that has the fit and flare as well for you. And typically one that has a little bit of a shoulder pad, not too much, we're not going back in the 80s, ladies, but a little bit of a shoulder pad just to add that squaring out of our rounder, narrow shoulders to give that little bit of an emphasis and just really create that lovely figure you have in your waist. It really creates a nice polished look, and it also just really creates a look that draws the eye up to your beautiful faces. In regards to skirts and dresses, it's basically the exact same rule for both. A-line, 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 A-line. A-line and wrapped A-line is like the top option for you. A-line is amazing on our body types. Again, simply because it fits nice and tight, high-waisted, nice and tight on our waist, and then it flows out to our bodies to allow for our bigger hips, our bigger thighs, buttocks, and our bigger calf regions as well. Whether it's a skirt, dress, doesn't really matter, the same goes for it. Also, like I said, wraps, skirts, wrap dresses, all of it is amazing because we can wrap it in at the smallest portion of our body, and then it can just naturally fall out against the rest of our curves, and it's always a really beautiful figure outline, and is again what all of these celebrities pay the big bucks to get that kind of look. So make it worth it, ladies. As for pants and jeans, this is exact opposite. Basically, you want to use flared hems. Now, I'm not talking like 60s, 70s flare hems, ladies. I'm talking about straight legs. We don't like skinny legs for pear-shaped women. I don't know if you've already watched, but I have done an edition about pencil skirts, and I've done an episode about skinny jeans. Make sure you watch those episodes because I do talk about ways of getting around that. But in general, for pants, you want boot cut, you want straight legged, and you want something with a little bit of flare, simply because you're wanting to balance out your top half of the body. And when you're doing more of the cigarette look and more of the skinny jean look, what it's doing is it's making your legs go, making this part up here much wider to the visual eye, whether it actually is or not. So no matter what, you want to stay away from those shapes, and then use the really beautiful fabrics on the bottom half, typically darker fabrics as well, to really, draw the eye up to your patterns or, detailed shirts. And then you also want to make sure that you are doing ones that have high waists. High waists are amazing for pear-shaped women. Doesn't matter what size you are, ladies, get your high waist going. I just gravitate to high waist now. It's a much better fit for a lot of pear-shaped women, simply because you can actually get them on, get them up, always have a little bit of stretch to your pants, and also try and get as many flat front or invisible zipper as possible, so that you can really diminish the amount of excess around your hip area as well. Really saves on the width. You don't want to add more width to your hips. As for what not to wear, this is something that really depends on how confident you are in showing off your curves and how trendy you want to be. But in general, when you're just talking about what not to wear for pear-shaped women, you do definitely want to stay away from really super tight clothing. Any skinny jeans, again, please feel free to watch the episode. It was right in the early of last year's episode, so go back and watch those. There's actually 2 about what not to wear with skinny jeans, and then what you have as an option to wear for skinny jeans. Definitely watch those. Capri pants, they just don't look good on us, ladies. Just stay away from them. Any kind of tulip tops, they don't look really good on us either. Things like that, just stay away from it and gravitate to everything else that I have said to really accentuate your curves and really show off how beautiful and voluptuous you are. Because again, as studies has said, this is actually the body type that we have most often, and it's the body type that men traditionally do go towards as well. So ladies, you have it, flaunt it, love it. Take these tips. If you want to learn more tips about actually what to wear and what not to wear, I have created a blog for you. The link is in the bio and description for you today. Simply just click that and then you can read the actual do's and don'ts and the full breakdown of having a full figured body shape for pears and what you can do for them. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. As always, make sure that you like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, sign up to our Pear newsletter to officially join the Pear community, and just really get involved in the community. I love being able to chat with you guys, so always feel free to start a chat with me or DM me or anything like that. But hope this episode has been informative, and as always guys, love your curves. Bye.